Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the Saba Show, and today we are commencing round 2 of the Dice Footy Championships. As you can see here, these are the results from last week. You can pause the video if you want, and that is the current ladder situation. But without further ado, let's just hop right into this week's round 2 matchups. So first up, we've got the Bulldogs and Carlton. Bulldogs won their first fixture and Carlton lost theirs. And we start things off here with the Bulldogs starting not so great in this contest. They are 1 goal for the Blues. What can they do? 3 goals to, so not really capitalizing on a pretty abysmal start by the Dogs. Second quarter coming up. Stronger second quarter by the Dogs. 7 goals, 6 for them. And for the Baggers, not the Blaggers, 5 goals, 3 for them. So they take a very narrow 5-point advantage going into the halftime break. We look in the third quarter and Jesus Christ, the Blues defense was a little bit leaky to say the least. Can they stay in touch? Not really. Not really. That sends them to 11 goals, 6. They are down by 17. It is not over for them yet. Actually, it is. I would be lying if I said they have a little bit of hope now. The Bulldogs will be winning this game after a slow start. The Blues finish relatively strong as well, but it is not enough. Next up is a top 8 clash between Sydney and Geelong. We kick things off with the Swans, who did win their last fixture, and they get the highest possible score, 6 goals, 6. You won't be catching them. And the Cats, they aren't completely out of touch, but they are trailing by a couple of goals at the first change. The second quarter sees the Swans, well, we don't know if they'll be extending their lead yet, but they advance to 10 goals, 8. And the Blues, not the Blues, the Cats, well, they could be in a little bit of trouble. They're down by 5 goals at the half. Third quarter for the Swans. They've let the Cats back in here. Could be on if they get a big 6-goal quarter, and well, the Cats have just blown it. They had an opportunity and they have blown it. And the Swans didn't have a great second half by any means, but they have won this game, and this will just be merely a consolidation quarter for the Cats. They get 12 goals, 17 in total, I believe, if my math is right, and they only lose by about 9 points. We now have the Pies and the Crows. The Pies had a big win against St Kilda. Can they kick off this game back where they left off? And they start with a very strong 6-goal quarter. The Crows, oh my goodness, they have started very poopy, and the Pies have a 27-point lead going into change number 1. The Pies don't follow up that very good first quarter with too many more goals, but the Crows, what can they do? They kick 5 goals, 5, so they are well and truly back in the contest. 6 goals, 10. Will the inaccuracy cost them? The Pies, 4 goals, 4 for them, sends them to 81 at 3-quarter time. Can the Crows have another big quarter? 4 goals, 4 for them is identical to what the Pies did, and this game hangs in the balance. It's a 7-point game, and the Pies kick 5 goals, 4, so that may actually put them out of reach, I think. Quite possibly, but let's see what the Crows get. 6 goals, 2. I think they're going to just come narrowly short, and they lose this by 3 points in what was a very high-scoring contest. Next up is 2 teams that are sitting in the middle part of the table. It's the Bombers and the Lions. The Bombers start things off with 3 goals, 2. Lions, 1 goal, 5 for them. So they had a very inaccurate showing first time up. 8 goals, 18 in the game prior against Port, but the Bombers, 7 goals, 6 for them. So this isn't a particularly high-scoring game. Bro, I don't think the footy gods want the Lions to be good in this, because they've only kicked 2 goals in a half of football. The Bombers don't particularly have a good start to the second half themselves. The Lions, amazingly, still remain in the game, despite only having kicked those 2 goals in the first half. The Bombers, could they potentially have just choked this? The Lions need to kick at least 33 points to get something out of it, and they don't get it. So that's pretty disappointing. if you're a Lions supporter in real life or in the world of Dice Footy, but they lose this one by 1 goal. Second on the table, Hawthorn take on Port Adelaide away from home, and Port will kick things off with a very strong 5-goal, 5 performance to kick things off in the second game of their campaign. The Hawks, 4 goals, 5 themselves. They had a pretty good start against the North Melbourne Kangaroos in this simulation. The Power second quarter is relatively inaccurate. The Hawthorn Hawks, can they respond? Yeah, sort of. The game is relatively close at the main change. Third quarter is huge by the Power. They kick 6 goals, 3 to parry themselves towards safety. And the Hawks, their third quarter is not as flashy. They are down 21. They need a low score from Port, and they're not going to get it. So they end up winning this one comprehensively. What will be the margin? We don't know for sure. 4 goals, 5 is what the Hawks score in the final quarter. And they do crack the ton, but they do lose the contest by 26. Next up is the Suns and the D's from Metricon Stadium. And the Suns did not win their first game. They lost to the Eagles narrowly. They start this one off in not a great fashion. The D's have a little bit of distance on the Suns at quarter time. And, well, the Suns have come back and kicked 6 goals, 4 in the quarter. So the D's were possibly slacking. However, the D's have a very accurate first half on their way to 9 goals, 4. Second half commences 5 goals, 5 for the Eagles. That is lovely stuff by them. Can the D's ensure that they don't take the lead? Yes, they can. Pretty strong quarter by the D's there. 14 goals, 8 is their score at 3/4 time. And the Suns close it out. Not great. The D's are going to have to kick the absolute minimum score they can get in order to lose this one. And they score 5 goals, 5. So not even close. They will end this one on 127. And they win by 27. 17th place North Melbourne take on the Eagles. We're kicking this thing off with North. And they start off strong after what was a disappointing performance against the Hawks in the round prior. The Eagles, who did win, but remain outside the top 8. They score 4 goals, 5. The second quarter is not great by the Roos. They do crack 50, but whether they take the lead will remain to be seen. They don't. They have a pretty bad quarter defensively, and the Eagles score 40. Third quarter, the Roos are inaccurate as hell, and they advance to 9 goals, 14. And for the Eagles, 4 goals, 4 propels them to 97, and I think this one is over. They have to kick the maximum, and they don't. So this one is going to be curtains for North Melbourne. They end on 94, having not even surpassed West Coast's 3/4 time total. And the Eagles will end up winning this one by 19. Fourth placed Richmond take on GWS at the MCG. And Richmond, who sit in 4th, have kicked 4 goals, 2 in the first quarter. The Giants, disappointing first game of the season against the Swans, but they scored 2 goals, 5. So not a terrible start, but we'll be looking for a little bit more accuracy. The Tigers are reinforcing their lead. They are 59 at the half. Damn, the Giants. They woke up, and they remain only 3 points down at the main change. What's going to happen here? The Tigers, well, they're going to kick 4 goals, 4 to give them 28 in the quarter. And it's the Giants who kick 4 goals, 1. So they do remain a goal down, but anything can happen here. 5 goals, 4 for the Tigers, and that will send them to that score, which is 121. And the Giants, well, they were never going to win, kicking 1 goal, 6. And that's exactly what they've done. So they end up losing this one by a considerable margin. And last game of the round sees Fremantle take on bottom place St Kilda, and with good reason they are last place because they've just conceded 6 in the opening quarter. St Kilda, what can they do? They kick 1 goal, 3. So already this is looking like a very ugly matchup for St Kilda, and almost as if they just want to gift Fremantle percentage. 9 goals, 3 for Fremantle at halftime. The Saints, they are back in the contest, but they aren't doing too much damage on the scoreboard, so I don't really know what the future holds. Fremantle aren't playing the best. And St Kilda, well, with a big quarter, I would have said they're right back in it, but they aren't. They just let themselves down. Whoops, I've just rolled the 8-sided dice. You can't kick 7. And Fremantle kicked 2 goals, 4 in the last. So the Saints will need to kick 6 goals, 6. Or 6 goals anything, but they didn't do that anyway. So they end on 11 goals, 12, and lose this one narrowly. But I think the scoreboard will be doing them a little bit of justice. And as you can see, this is the ladder as it stands after round 2. St Kilda could not win their first game of the season. North, once again, also couldn't win. You're seeing a common trend is a lot of teams are cracking 100 points, and that is still not good enough to get you a win. You can see the Tigers, another strong win. GWS have been pretty poor as well. Your usual culprits at the bottom, and Hawthorn, after they started the season strong, they've slipped after losing to the Power. So not really any blowouts in this second game, but that is the ladder. Make sure to put in the comments who your pick is to be on top at the end of the season after it's all said and done. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you have any improvements for the series or things you want me to add to the episodes. Make sure to let me know in the comments. But yeah, that's going to be it from me. So also just forgot to mention that every episode of this is out Thursday, 4 p.m. every week, no exceptions. That's it. Thank you. Have a great day. Enjoy it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.